guys, so sorry about that, slight cold. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I'm actually watching a video on YouTube right now, so sorry about that. Oh, you can see my very nasty water that needs changing. I'm not going to change that right now because what we're going to be doing doesn't involve a lot of painting. What we're going to be doing is we're going to make a small house. That's correct. We're going to design some small houses. Now, I've done a few, but they're far away currently on the other side of the room on the table. So, we're going to get into it right sort of now. Now, first, it's picking your paper. And what type of paper do you want? Well, you want the cardboard type. Let me just figure out from where it is. So I have a lot of the green ones, and we're going to take a single sheet, and we're going to also do the measurements out loud too. Now, what do you need? You need your piece of cardboard paper, and you need your pencil, your ruler, scissors. We need scissors. Oh, they're right over here. Let me just get them out real quick. Your scissors, and a small blade for cutting out details. Now, we're going to start with our paper like this, and we're going to measure 3 inches in. So that's 3 inches, and make a second measurement of another 3 inches right here. And I want you to do the same at the top. 3 inches. Well, obviously the next 3 inches will be 6 inches. So you take a ruler and you draw the line down. I'm really hoping that you can hear my voice very loud and clear, and there's no grumbling whatsoever. Now, next you're going to measure another 3 inches, and another 3 inches right here. And then you're going to measure 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches here. And you're going to just draw these two lines across. Now, I'm going to explain now what these two are. But before I do so, we're going to need to find the halfway point of these two. So it's 3 inches in total, that making the half 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. Now this is the front and the back of the house. So you just draw like this downward, and I'm hoping that this is in much better quality than my other videos. Now we have the front and the back, and anyone can be it. Next we're going to move on to the sides, and that's these two. Now this can be, we already have 3 inches, 3 inches. That's going to be, well, the height of it, but the length. You can make the length whatever you want it to be. You can make it 4 inches, you can make it 3.5 inches, or you can make it 3 inches. You can even make it 2 inches if you want, but we want it to be a square, so we're going to put 3 inches and another 3 inches. So we have the side of the house. Now time to make the roof. Now we want the roof to be slightly bigger, slightly longer than the side of the house, which is 3 inches. So we're going to measure 3.5 inches here, and 3.5 inches right up here. Now we're going to take a ruler and draw a line here, and we can see if we can get 2 roofs out of this. Now we're going to measure 3 inches right here, and another 3 inches right here. We're going to repeat the same here, 3 inches right here, and another 3 inches right here. We're going to draw a line across, and this is now our roof. Now it's time to cut them out. When we're finished cutting them out, we are going to decorate them. So we're going to first cut out both roofs, and then we're going to decorate them, and then we're going to cut out the sides, and then we're going to decorate them. Be careful when you're cutting it out. If you are a very young child, please ask an adult for help. You do not want to be playing with scissors. If you don't trust yourself with scissors, you can always ask someone for help. There's no shame in asking for help at any time. Now, we need to make the door. Now, you can freehand this, but I have a sharpener that I like to use. So I use the sharpener because it gives it like this little elf-like door that I just love. And then I'm going to put a little arch here that I hope you can see clear on the camera. Let me just make sure that you're seeing this clear. Yeah, okay, so you're seeing it clear. And now that we've made our little, I don't know what to call it, half of this, we draw this line through it, and now we take our blade. Now this part, be very careful. Make sure not to cut your hand. We don't want any little accidents. Oh, and when you're cutting, make sure you cut on a surface that you're okay destroying. don't cut directly on your table because then you're going to destroy your table and you don't want that. So make sure to cut on a surface that you are okay cutting on. Now this is a very thick plasticky surface, so I can't cut through it, nor can I destroy it that bad. Maybe gradually over time it'll get destroyed, but I don't really cut like this often, so it's gonna take some time. So make sure you have a good surface that you're okay cutting on. Now we cut out our little windows. This will be separated here. Now here comes one of the most fun parts. Oh wait, I need to be careful. I have this little basket that I made. There's a video of this basket on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. And we have this fabric paint that I love to use, and you're going to see why I love to use them so much. When you pipe them out, it looks like ice mint, and it carries this texture to it. It creates little bumps. So we're going to use the green to put it like fairy lights hanging on the roof. If you're saying, oh, it's green, how does it look like fairy lights? Well, just now you're going to see the fairy part for the lights. I don't like to have dead air, so I have no idea what to talk about. Maybe you guys can tell me how you plan on spending your Christmas. Oh, if you're from Guyana and you want to know where you can buy these, the fabric paint, you can go to PLS to get them. That's where I bought mine from, but they're also selling at Giftland and Austin's bookstore, so you can also check it out there. But, you know, if you're from the west side and you don't want to go all the way over to town, you can head over to PLS and they have it. Now, you know what? We can do this on a bit of... We can just speed this process up because it's going to take some time. So now we finished with this. We're just going to put it to the side to let it dry. Be careful not to touch it or that will ruin it. It takes some time to dry. Now we are going to work on the side. So we're going to cut that out. Actually, no, before we cut it out, let's get our design. What do we want? Do we want circular windows or do we want square windows? Now, I find the circular windows quite good, but we don't want them too big. So you take your compass. When you're setting your compass, make sure that the pencil and the pointy needle thingy are the same length with each other, like this. And now you can pick average the center if you want, or you can get technical and get your ruler out and try to find the center, but that's not really necessary unless you want to do so. So, you know, you can choose that option if you want. I don't choose that option. And now we have our circle in there. We do sort of like what we did for the half circle or the semicircle. You draw the straight line down, and then you draw it across like this. So it forms sort of like a cross or a plus sign, and then you cut it out. time for the roof. Now we have our roof already connected to each other, so there's no reason to cut it in half or cut it away from each other. We're just going to decorate our roof. Now the fabric paint, they come in different texture. We have slick, puffy, sparkle, and then there is my absolute favorite, which is glow. So you should always read labels. I didn't even realize it was glow until 3 days ago, even though I've had it sitting in this container for quite some time. Now this is our roof, and as you can see, there's a line right here, so you can fold it along that line, but we're not going to fold it just yet because we want it to lie flat down while we do this last part. And the last part is us piping this on like scales. That's the best thing that I can say about it. So we've already got this sort of pipe, and what we're going to do now is we're going to just move this off from our main working area, and we're going to leave them to dry because it will take quite some time to dry. Now if you have a heating tool, you can use that, but I don't have it. If you want to use your blow dryer, I guess you can use that too. I don't have one of those, so I can't use it. So we're just going to have to wait until it dries before we can film the other part of this video. So it's dry. It's actually pretty late right now, and let's look at our product that we have. So we have the front and the back right here. We have the roof right here, and we have the two sides. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut them off from each other. So the line that we kept, we're going to just cut on the line. I'm going to do the same for this. Now there's a next way in which you can do this, and we're going to have a part 2 for that video. Now the roof, we're going to leave the roof just as it is. We're not going to cut it. We're just going to fold it here neatly. And you could use paste for this, but I am going to be using tape. Now you can use any tape that you have. If you don't have tape, then I guess you can rub a little paste on a piece of paper and use it. Now I'm sorry, but I lost the edge of the tape. But there, we have it again. So it is time to tape this down, and so we're going to pick anyone to be the front. Oh, we're going to need to cut the door out. My bad, I completely forgot about this. Now we're using something very sharp. Once again, so you don't cut this one right down. You cut, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 lines up. You cut from there all the way over to this side. So we have sort of like a door now. Now you need to be very careful when you're playing with sharp objects, and we repeat the same for this one. Now you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You start from this one. You just sort of bring it around. And there, it looks pretty. So we grab any one that we want. We're going to take this one because I love how the pink and the purple looks, and we're going to take our window. Now remember, the fairy lights are hanging at the top, so remember to make sure that this is at the top, and you put it down like this, and you take your Scotch tape. You can measure it or you can cut freely, and you just cut. Make sure that this lines up evenly with this. We don't want too much gap in between it. You don't want gaps in your walls, basically. And you put the Scotch tape down. Make sure it's spread evenly, and you do the same. Make sure to have the fairy lights at the top, and you just put it down. You get your Scotch tape. You do a little quick measuring right to the side here. Cut out. And then you put it down again, right here. So it's time to put on the back. Now we grab our back and we put it onto the end here. We paste it down. Measure again. And we cut out. Now you don't want too much of a gap here, so make sure to get this nice and neat before you put your tape on it, because we do not want to be lifting up the tape again. Now it's okay if you have a little bit of lapping over with the tape. You can choose to snip it out. Like right here, we have a little bit of lapping, so we just simply cut it out. And there, problem solved. So, or you can choose to bend the tape, depends on if it's not that big. So now we need to put our house together. Now this part, I want you to pay a very, very close attention to what I am doing. We cut our tape out, and we put it on like this. Then we bend this back, carefully put this on. So now we have our little house. Time to put on our little roof. Now this part is also very tricky because you're going to need to make sure that your roof is straight along the edge here. If you take a couple tries, that's okay. If you found a different way to do it, that's also okay. Remember I told you there's more than one way to do it? Well, I'm going to go over multiple ways that you can do it. Now we don't want too big of a piece of a tape because you don't really want much lapping over on this one. So we put the tape down, lift this up just a little bit so we can get the tape there. And then we flip this over, or flip it up, turn this around so we can see what we're doing. Now it's okay if it falls down like that, that's normal. Now you can use pencils, pens, or anything to help you with this part. What you can do is you take your pencil and you put it here. And you have your hand free to hold this now up. And you put this down like this. You put your other hand in, and try to just get it off of the pencil. And now you can paste your roof. And there you have one side of your roof pasted on. Now it's time for us to do the next side. Now this side is going to be a bit harder because you're going to have to push your hand through this very tiny opening here. And what I want you to do is to take your tape, cut it out, fold it, and we're going to do the same pencil trick. We're going to put it in like this. We can take the blade and use it to like help get the pencil off. And we can simply paste it down. I want you to take your time when doing this. I've mentioned over and over again to be careful when doing it, so remember to be careful. It's okay if we make some mistakes, but making mistakes just means that we're going to either need to start over or try to correct said mistake. Yeah. Again, you can try finding your own easier way on how to do this. I will come out with a next tutorial video, of course, showing you other ways in which you can do it. But for now, this is one of the ways, and ta-da, we have our sweet little houses. Now, on the next video, we are going to have Christmas trees by our houses. So that's all for this video. Can't wait to see you again when it comes to making our Christmas trees. Goodbye!